Hi guys, welcome to thebeautyplan.com. Thanks for joining me. I wanted to share with you this little recipe, or it's more of an un-recipe because I'm making myself some bliss balls with whatever is in this cupboard, and I want to take them down with me to the beach. The reason that I thought I'd share this with you is that it's specifically an un-recipe. I don't know what I'm about to put into it, and I guess it will empower you just to be able to make healthier choices without having to always stick to a recipe. Recipes can make healthy eating quite expensive. I know I've had a lot of clients or even friends or family that have said, no, I can't stick to this healthy way of living because the meals are just so expensive. The thing is, I just don't stick to recipes. I think the last time that I even looked at a recipe was when I was creating my ebook, Cellulite Can Kiss My Butt, because I did want to include some healthy meals in there, and obviously I had to have the different amounts. So I'm really more of a just go with whatever's in the fridge at the time, whatever's in the cupboard, and I make my food work for me and my budget. So I'm just going to show you what I do. It's just a lot of sort of leftovers really. Normally I wouldn't have things in so many different packets. It's just that I'm not in my home at the moment. Always start with a base of dates if you can, because they are soft, squishy and sweet. So not only are they going to give you that beautiful flavour, they're also going to help to hold the balls together. So you really want to get the moist, ripe dates, not the horrible dried up ones that you'll generally find in the packets that have been sitting on the shelves for months in the supermarket. You want to get the fresh ones that often come in like the big boxes that you find at your organic market. Salt is a good thing to add with any healthy dessert that you're making. It just helps to really give a beautiful balance and to enhance the other flavours in the recipe. So I'll put a tiny pinch of this in. So I'm using a sea salt, and if your natural salts are good, just stay away from that horrible table salt. You're better off without it. Then I don't even know what's in here. Okay, we've got desiccated coconut. Desiccated coconut is great in bliss balls because it acts as a bit of a base, like a bit of a flour, and it just, if you are a coconut fan, then you'll just love it. It turns them into the most amazing tropical bliss balls. It is quite dry, so you definitely want to have the dates, balance it out. I can't even give you amounts with this, I'm just sort of tipping it in. You've really just got to try them out a few times and learn by error. Next, I've got cacao powder. That's a raw organic cacao powder. If you are particularly sensitive to cacao, you might like to try carob because it won't give you that sort of buzz where it keeps you awake at night. For me, cacao powder's fine. I don't really notice any difference. So I will put, I think just a heaped large tablespoon in like so. And then I think we've got some goji berries. Yes, we do. So goji berries, I think it's great to always add any chopped dried fruit into bliss balls. It just gives it that little edge. My favourite is dried apricots that I just chop up quite finely. I don't have that with me at the moment, so I've just got the goji berry. Very high ORAC value, super high in antioxidants, so that's great. I'm just going to put like a small handful of those in. Now, for the people that feel as though they want to have some extra protein, I know there's a lot of guys that like to have some foods like this that they'll be having after a big workout. Now, I personally feel that I get enough of my proteins from having my leafy greens, plant-based diet. You know, I have a lot of fruit and veg, and I really have it all covered when it comes to protein. But some people like to feel as though they're adding on to their diet. So if that's you, you can really turn these into great little protein balls. The reason I'm bringing this up is because sometimes when I go to my gym, I see people buying those little protein balls that are packed with whey protein and all sorts of nasty chemicals and preservatives. So this is a healthy way of going about it. So I might just put 1 tablespoon of the protein powder in. So this particular protein powder, I think it's actually my mum's, and I just pinched a little bit from her. I think it's the Dr. McCullough. It's either Sun Warrior Vanilla or the Dr. McCullough vegan protein powder. So there's no whey protein, it's just made from hemp and rice and stevia and some natural vanilla essence or powder. So it's quite beautiful. Then I've got maca. If you enjoy having superfood bliss balls, then you might like to sort of play around with adding some acai powder. You might like to add some maca powder like I have here. I've already put my goji berries in. There's Incan berries, you know, you can really go to town. There are so many different little elements that you can put in. You don't even have to add any of the superfoods in if that's just making it too expensive for you. It's really not necessary. But I do have the maca powder with me, so I'm gonna add some of that in. That's good for, you know, helping to balance hormones. It gives you strong energy throughout the day. It's great for muscle building, and it's also quite a potent aphrodisiac. So take care with that one. So I'm just gonna put a little bit in because the flavor is pretty full on. And that's all I have. So, oh, actually, I do have some walnuts. Now you can keep it nut-free if you prefer. I like to add a few walnuts in because I love the flavor. I like a little bit of that oil. A good source of omega-3 fatty acids as well. But, you know, if you want to keep it high carb, low fat, then absolutely go ahead and just skip the walnuts because you're going to have that almost oily sensation from the dates because they're so moist. And now with clean hands, just sort of really get in there and squish it all together with your fingers. So if when you're mixing this around, it feels as though it's too dry, just add a few more dates. That's where the experimentation process sort of comes into it, and you just really need to play it by ear. So this is feeling quite dry for me, so I'm gonna add a few more dates. And with those nuts, if you put the walnuts in, instead of pulling out the blender and blending it and having to clean the blender and so on, I just grab a spoon or a fork and I just sort of crush them down. It means that they're nice and chunky, which is still nice in a Bliss ball as well. Okay, so just roll them into the little balls and voila, you have a Bliss ball. So you can just leave it like that, or you might like to roll it in some cacao powder or some carob powder. What I'm gonna do with mine, I think, is roll it in some desiccated coconut. So you just grab out a plate, pour some of your desiccated coconut on, and then simply roll them around. These make really cute little gifts as well if it's someone's birthday coming up and you want to give them a nice little homemade gift. These look really, really beautiful. They also make fantastic snacks to take to work, or if you have little ones, tuck in their lunch boxes to take to school. For yourself, you know, if you're heading to the beach like I'm about to do, so have a look at that. It's just so special, and if you've ever gone to buy some Bliss balls from your health food store, you know that they're very expensive. They can be, at my local health store, they're about $4 each. So it's really cost effective to just make a heap up for yourself and just pop them in the fridge. That's a delicious, nutritious little Bliss ball just made from whatever I have in the cupboards. Just make do. As you know, you just need a couple of the staples like your dates, carob or cacao powder, and then just throw in any of the dried fruits that you want to, any superfoods if you want to add them in, and you are set. Okay, so I'm gonna head down to the beach and take them with me. It's so beautiful out there today. I just really wanna share the amazing view of the ocean with you. Actually, I'm gonna turn the camera around now. So I'll say goodbye. Thanks for joining me, and I hope to see you again soon. Make sure that you subscribe, like. The more that I can get a buzz on these videos, the more the good information on health spreads around. I have the link to my website, thebeautyplan.com, down below. All of that good stuff. Now, let's get to the beach.